Okay, hi everyone, welcome back, and in this update we are going to check out GALA's price chart. And what we said in the previous video, basically I'm going to say pretty much played out, but there are some nuance actually here and there. You see, if you remember in the previous update, the idea was that maybe this is going to be like a WXY, and if we get another move down, do not worry, it's just going to be part of the bullish process. And after this small move down is over, we can at that point count on yet another move on the upside. And the move itself wasn't really that important for us. The shape of it really mattered. Why? Because let's go around here. You see, if you want to argue that we have hit our final low around this region, maybe, I don't know, let's say this is like a very important support, then okay. In terms of Elliott waves, you have to be able to find off of the lowest low a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up. This specific example is called an impulse. Rules for it are we should not have overlapping of the waves between wave 2 and 4, and in any kind of 5 wave, wave 3 is simply not allowed to be the smallest wave. And in terms of the subwaves, oh, and by the way, I actually remembered one of you guys said that I shouldn't really talk this fast, so I'm going to try, but bear with me, this might get a bit tricky. 5 wave up into wave 1, 3, and 5, there we go. And for wave 2 and 4 we can have different counts. Let's say sure, ABC into wave 2 and the WXY into wave 4. Now let's go on the live chart and see what is going on. So as you can see, we are absolutely able to find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave off of the lowest low, which is great. Followed by that, now I'm going to argue that, excuse me, instead of having an ABC, this was actually a WXY in form of a double zigzag, and this is a rather strong move on the upside. And as you can see, between our pullbacks down, we are very much rarely able to find overlapping of the waves, which is what, yup, a very important characteristic of an impulsive structure. And I'm going to argue this is actually into wave 3, followed by that. If I just zoom in a bit more, okay, something very interesting recently happened, and I honestly didn't really expect it. I'm going to argue this is an A, B, and then like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down into wave C. And what is happening starting from here to about this high, I think we can all safely say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave, actually a rather beautiful one. So what is it that I'm trying to say? In GALA, there's actually a chance that we may have already completed the subwaves for a 5 wave up, which means two things. Number one, you can now say that the low, the final one, is in with a good bit of confidence. Number two, what happens after a 5 wave up, even if you want to go according to the most optimistic and bullish case? You know the answer. We are going to have actually a move on the downside. So this is what I'm trying to tell you in today's update. In case that we see a rather deep move down in GALA, maybe in order to reach to about these levels around, let's say, the 1.5 cents area, I don't think that is necessarily going to be a bad sign. Why? Because odds are on a higher degree we are completing the subwaves for a wave 1, correction for wave 2, and if this count is going to be in play, what's going to be next? You know the answer. Big move up into wave 3 and 4 and 5. So because of the fact that we are able to find a 5 wave off of the lowest low, I think now we should be a bit more bullish than before. Now, here's the situation. I do think that we're going to have a move down, and this move is going to continue a little bit, but pay attention. Once more, I'm going to say it. The move itself doesn't really matter. It is sort of kind of predictable. What really matters is the shape of the move. In case that we get a very slow and choppy move down, and between our pullbacks, you're just constantly able to find overlapping of the waves, that, you know what, is going to be a great sign suggesting, okay, this is actually 5 wave up, this is correction down, which is a bullish setup, suggesting the next move is going to be a massive one on the upside. On the other hand though, what you do not want to see is like a very strong 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down without a lot of overlapping of the waves, because that is going to suggest, you know what, even though that this can be a 5 wave up, it might be into a larger degree C leg in order to complete the subwaves for an A, B, C flat, meaning, well, unfortunately, our final low is not necessarily in yet in GALA. So In conclusion, I do think that we should be probably counting on a move on the downside in GALA in the short term. So in case it happens, we're not going to be surprised at all. And sure, I can tell you maybe to about the current point is actually a correction for 4, and we're going to have another move up into wave 5. This might very well be in play, but I don't really want you to be overwhelmingly optimistic. So, you know, let's just say probably a 5 wave completed to about the highest high, excuse me, right in here about 1.8 cents, and now it's time for a move down, and you need to pay attention to the shape of that move, because that, my friends, is really the key point. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in GALA. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.